How is everyone doing today? And in this video, we are going to be talking about one of our brand new characters coming into Honkai Star Rail, and that is going to be Jiaoqiu. Now, Jiaoqiu, from what we know in the stream, he looks like he's going to be a very strong character, especially with looking at how Harmony characters are and Nihility characters are. Nihility characters are starting to bring their way up to the top of the list when it comes to some of the strongest units in the game, and especially Jiaoqiu. We didn't know if he was going to be a dot character, a debuffer, or overall just a DPS in the way that we have Akron, we have Kafka, and we have characters like Pella and Silverwolf. Well, we understand that now he is a debuffer that is going to be helping enemies take more damage, and not only that, take more ultimate damage when he brings out his ultimate. Now, of course, this is going to be very interesting to see what exactly he's going to bring to the team for a bunch of different teams. But before we get into all that, make sure you leave a like, comment, sub, all the different type of stuff, and let me know how excited you are for Jiaoqiu, because I feel like this patch for right now, a lot of people are intending on skipping, which it makes a lot of sense. I think a lot of these characters right now, when it comes to Yun Li, she's not crazy of a character. Now, we'll have a showcase very soon talking about her. Yun Li's a really cool character, but not needed. Same thing for Jiaoqiu. I think Jiaoqiu hits a spot where she's going to be absolutely amazing. I mean, he's going to be absolutely amazing, but I don't think he's absolutely needed, especially with all the characters that we have in the game. But we're going to go ahead and talk about who exactly he's going to help. So, of course, with this skill, he's going to be inflicting burn damage. We don't know how much. I wonder if it's going to be a really nice dot. That way it could help the dot team, but he is going to be making it so that enemies take more damage. Overall, just a really good debuff to add onto the team. And then for his ultimate, you're going to be increasing ultimate damage, which is another really cool buff, especially because he is by far, even mentioned on the stream, going to be a huge boost to Akron, who we know was going to get way more potential as time went by, especially with stronger Nihility units and probably even Nihility units that are able to stack up her debuff counter way faster than intended, giving her way more ultimates, and especially with Jiaoqiu's ultimate himself, pairing that up with Akron, giving her extra damage on top of enemies and also extra ultimate damage, is going to be absolutely insane for her. Of course, looking at the dot team as well, you get the same type of gist, extra damage for the dot team. We don't know how hard Jiaoqiu's dots hurt, but it's still a welcome addition to the dot team. And then overall, now we can start looking at every other type of character that Jiaoqiu will probably work with, because like I said before, Jiaoqiu is going to be a little bit more of a universal character just because of his innate debuff that he has from his skill. Of course, his ultimate is going to be a little bit more niche, with certain characters by far liking that way more. As we said before, he's best in slot partner for Akron, a character a lot of people have, and if you want the best possible partner, the best possible synergy when making the absolute most out of your Akron, Jiaoqiu is going to be it. Jiaoqiu is going to be able to give not only a fat ton of debuffs, a good amount of damage, but also boost up Akron's damage personally by a crazy amount that he's going to be absolutely nasty. But if you're not looking to pull for him for Akron, there are other teams as well that we are going to mention. Like I said before, the dot team is going to be really good. Other characters that do really good ultimate damage, or their damage is very focused onto their ultimate, Argenti is definitely going to be a character that's going to love that for sure. Same thing with Jiaoqiu, overall really good damage buff plus the ultimate damage on top, which is going to help out Jiaoqiu with her damage. Blade is going to be pretty cool. That could be something that's possible. You have REHOO, that could be something cool that's possible, although REHOO's ultimate is not really a big portion of his damage. But the gist is that realistically, he can be used with a bunch of different characters, but is he worth the slot that he's going to be taking up for a bunch of these teams? Now, of course, going back to the main team, the main character you're probably going to pull for when it comes to pairing them up on the team, Akron. I think by far that is a easy guess or easy answer to say, which is Jiaoqiu is 100% going to be worth on the slot on Akron's team. Looking for someone like Kafka can be a little bit if and so. It really depends if her ultimate damage when it comes to the re-triggers counts as ultimate damage, or does it count as just regular dot damage. That way Jiaoqiu can work on the ultimate buff, or what he gives off of ultimate to give to Kafka. That we don't know 100%, but we do know through his skill he's going to be giving that damage buff. So overall, Kafka is going to get a little bit more bonuses when it comes to the dots re-triggered, which is going to overall help Kafka out. So Jiaoqiu could definitely work as a really nice character, especially if you don't have Black Swan. Now, putting these two characters together, we definitely could see something that's really cool between Black Swan and Jiaoqiu together, which would make it so that the enemies take way more damage from the defense reduce and the minus resistances that they take, also with Jiaoqiu's damage boosting effects from his ultimate and also his skill. So this can overall give a crap ton, and I mean a nasty amount of damage bonus for the triggers for not only shock, wind shear, and also burn. So it's actually going to be a really good, and I mean really great setup to have between these two characters, and I really want to try this out when they come out. Besides Acheron and also the Dot team, who we know are going to be the primary suspects for the teams that he will be on, talking about every other character, especially talking about the general DPSs, looking at the break team, I don't see Jiaoqiu really being on this team for the most part, just because not a lot of characters will be able to make use of the ultimate damage, because a lot of their hits come from skills for the most part when it comes to Firefly, when it comes to Boo Hill, and then we also have characters like Harmony MC and Ruan Mei who are kind of irreplaceable on this team as well. So Jiaoqiu really wouldn't work as great on a break team as we would like it. I do think there's a possibility for someone like Argenti or characters who are super focused on their ultimate to be able to use Jiaoqiu, because you will be able to benefit from the ultimate damage bonus and also from the regular damage bonus that you would be using for his skill for the most part. I think when it comes to Argenti, when it comes to characters like Jing Yuwen and Jing Liu, who are able to do nasty amounts of damage from their ults alone, and also talking about an upcoming character which is going to be Yun Li, because her follow-ups, especially when it's powered up by her ultimate, are considered as ultimate follow-up damage or ultimate damage. So this is a really cool thing to note, that Jiaoqiu is going to have some potential use in the future to be used on a bunch of different characters. He is not going to be relegated to a certain team right now or a really specific niche, but he definitely can be used as time goes by, and is one of the best partners for one of the best characters in the game, so he will be viable for a extremely long time, and his viability is going to just stay there for quite some time. So the fact that he's able to give that damage bonus, to be able to give that ultimate damage bonus, this puts him in a really good spot that if you were to summon for Jiaoqiu, you really wouldn't regret it, just because he does have some long-term viability with working with one of the best characters in the game already, having a bunch of different teams he could be on, and also not talking about what we could see in the future for other DPSs coming out that might like that damage bonus and ultimate damage bonus as well. Now, when it comes to who we could compare Jiaoqiu to, specifically looking at the other nihility characters, I know a lot of people are probably looking at Black Swan or even Pella. I do think Pella right now still has more use than Jiaoqiu, only because that defense reduce is super strong, and taking in that damage is a really good thing, and having that damage boost is a really nice thing from his ultimate. But Pella's still there, and same thing with Black Swan. These two are more support centric than Jiaoqiu. I think Jiaoqiu is only there to be able to provide a crap ton of value for Acheron. And we'll see how time goes when it comes to more characters with more debuff centric kits, or maybe even something that is able to use that ultimate damage buff like Yun Li and like Argenti, where a big portion of their damage comes from their ultimate. So I do think for the most part, if you are looking to get one of the best partners for Acheron, pull Jiaoqiu. If you are a Argenti lover or Yun Li lover, then 100% pull out Jiaoqiu. I think these are really great characters, but overall, I understand why a lot of people want to skip on them, just due to the fact that we have really great characters already in the support lineup and the nihility lineup, because you have characters like Ruan Mei, you have characters like Robin, you have characters like Sparkle, Silverwolf, we also have Ting Yun, you have Bronya, Hanya. There's just so many great support characters in the game right now, and then we also have Jiaoqiu at home. There's a lot of really great support characters, a lot of really great nihility characters that are out in the game right now. So if you have an abundance of these Harmony characters, if you have an abundance of these nihility characters that have been coming out, talking about Silverwolf, talking about Pella, then you're 100% fine and don't really need him for the most part. I think this patch is filled with some really great characters when it comes to both Yun Li and Jiaoqiu. But are both of these characters needed in any way, shape, or form? I don't think so for the most part. I think this is a very nice patch when it comes to pulling a character that's pretty strong for the long-term viability of the game, but also isn't too broken that they're one of the best in the game right now. I don't think they're going to be S+ tier, S tier characters, but they're definitely good characters, and characters that can put out a lot of value with whenever you want to use them, with Yun Li and how explosive her damage can be, and the amount of modes that she could be put in, which I will be showcasing in the future. And then also talking about Jiaoqiu as well, looking at how he's able to help out a bunch of different characters and can work on a bunch of different teams in the future as well, with being able to use one of the best characters in the game as your best partner. So overall, very strong patch of characters, just not needed characters, the way we saw Acheron, the way we saw Boo Hill, and also same with Firefly, the way we see Black Swan, Sparkle. Those characters were a need at that time. Right now, we have such an abundance of characters that are really good for support reasons, really good for debuff reasons, that Jiaoqiu isn't needed. But if you were to pick them up, you wouldn't be disappointed by his performance, or you wouldn't be mad at the investment you're making, because he will be viable as time goes by. Of course, next video we are going to be talking about March 7th, which I think is going to be a very interesting character from all that you're going to be able to do with her, and also the different types of ways you can use her kit. But other than that, that's going to be it for this video when it comes to Jiaoqiu. Let me know what you think about him. Let me know if you're pulling for him. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll wait to the video. See y'all guys in the next one, and peace.